Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and I was having a nose on Pinterest, and I've come up with all sorts of different types of cards before, but I come across this thing called Chevron cards, and it was just lovely. But every time I did it with my card stock, because I do English 5 and 5/8 by 3 and 7/8, my top layer anyway. I was either too short. Well, I was always too short, but because the instructions were to cut the card pieces 2.5 by 1, and you need 5 of them. So, you know me, I won't rest until I get it right down to the bottom of my card. I'll show you in a minute. So I worked it out. If I cut 2 at 2 3/4 by 1 and the other 3 at 2.5 by 1, I can get it to fit. If you're American style, because your layer is 5 1/4 by 4, then you still need to leave your 5 pieces at 2.5 by 1. So I'll show you my card, and I'm using an older set. It's still in current one, but it's this they're meant to be. And I've also, well, this is it. I just think it's so cute. Look at that. I used some of the DSP to make some of these gorgeous little pansy flowers. I blacked out some large white pearls with my Copic marker, or you can do it with the Stampin' Blends, the black one. One of them's just popped off. And then I just scattered a couple, and then I used, instead of using a punch for a label punch, I used the hearts and then put on the, as you can see, just for you. And then I stamped that little rose inside to decorate the inside. But I think it's really cute. I adore it. Love it, love it, love it. And because these stay open, I was able to slide it in there. And I just think it's really cute. Well, I'm changing the paper this time, and I'm going to be using Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to be using this designer series paper this time. So I've got... Oh, where are we now? I think I've still got one to cut down. There we go. I've got 2 at 2.5. I need 3 at 2.5 because I did try and shuffle it around first. So let's get that to 2.5. Because I ended up having to take that much off the last one to get it to go all the way top and bottom. And the knack is to actually fold in so it goes like this. I was doing them all the same way and I ended up with a straight line, and I was like, why isn't mine looking like that? And then I realised that the lady had folded 2 totally different. So the 2 small ones, you need, where's that now? That's the large. I'm going to turn them over. You need 3 pieces to fold one way and 2 pieces to fold a different way. So I left it with the plain so I could see those beautiful flowers without it being too in your face, because we added these. I think it's just adorable. I love it. In fact, I'll leave that there. So the 2 shorter pieces, you're going to fold them this way and then this way. So what I found was the best way to do it. Let me zoom in a little bit and show you. So put your nail right there and just fold it over until you get it right along the edge of that paper and get a really nice point. Whoops. Making sure, yeah, I haven't gone over, it's just lined up. And then spin it around and then do that again. So put your nail in the corner. Make sure this is right along the edge. And burnish. Now I'm not quite, I can see it, I'm not quite up into the corner, so I need to make sure I am, whoops, without going too far over. No, and I'm still not on the corner. It's a little bit tricky, but, and if you've cut them straight, Now in my luck I've probably cut it on the wonk a little bit, but that's a lot better. And then I'm going to set that to this side. And I'm going to do the same. What I find as well, if you want to be a bit more flexible, just to give them a little flick. And then you can pull it over a little bit better. Making sure you line it up. On a 45-degree angle. Spin it round and then do the same again. Can you all see? Sorry. Whoops. So just make sure it's right along the edge. And then you can flatten it out. And then when they're going to get glued down anyway, so those two are staying on that side. Now these you want to fold this way. But I thought, oh my goodness, what a cute idea for a card. And then spin it and then do the same. Fold up this way. If you, like I say, if you're American, because the lady card was 5.25 by a layered piece, I mean 5.25 by 4. Her pieces fit all the way down. See what I mean? Now you've got that way and that way, so when we attach on the card they will continue to do that pattern all the way down. So leave them on that side. And what I tend to do with the long one, start off with the long one and finish off with the long one. I didn't on this one because I had to adjust, but it doesn't matter. I just think it's a really cute idea. I'm not quite getting it to that corner for some reason. That's better. Doesn't take long, it's just a bit of a fiddle. I suppose you could score it if you wanted to at a 45-degree angle, but I think this is easier. That's perfect, that one. So nearly done on the last piece. And to set it off, I run my my card's base through with an embossing folder, the brick wall one. I love that embossing folder. I think it's lovely. So pinch your corner, come across, making sure everything's nice and level, and then squash. So we've got our pieces now. Love it. And oh, let me just grab my black pen, and we can let these dry whilst we're waiting. Because it is a permanent marker, any permanent marker, and you could imagine I could have done them in Blackberry Bliss, you know, it doesn't matter. So I'm leaving them on one side to dry. I'm going to get another piece of that gorgeous paper out. I've got a small piece here, but I want to try and get a little piece of each of the flower in there. You know, when I pop this out, I want to try and get it over like that. Perfect. So I've only got one flower on there, but that'll go back in for other things. So let's get, whoops, that one. And it went on the floor. So that will return for more flowers. And they're just from the, oh, let me get this one. These are just from the Painted Poppies Designer Series paper. And all I did with these was took my pokey tool and I just swished it around. Maybe I should have done this first. I added Wink Stella on them ones, so it would have been easier to do it while it's flat. So, you know me, and a bit of Wink Stella goes a long way. I just thought really cute. So again, just give that a little spin. And if you haven't got a Wink Stella, you can make your shimmer spray up. This one just wants to stick. There we go. I'll leave those there. And we'll add the gems in a bit now. So, I've got my... Oh, and I need that piece back, by the way. Ah, right. Ah, Gaynor's in a bit of a pickle now. So let me just check the back. One of these has got a really dark background, I think. Yeah, there it is. So I'm just pulling one of these out because I want the scalloped heart. Just for my sentiment to go on the back. So I've literally gone as close to the edge as I can. I'll just pop that back in now. And I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White to go on the top. Perfect. I think I'll have to fetch some kitchen foil up to go through my punches and sharpen them up a little bit, because you can see they're fraying a little bit. So I'll use that again in a minute. But here is my piece. Like I'm saying, mine is 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Your American style, you would have this at 4 by 5 1/4. So I've kept it straight as possible, and I'll just run it through my big shot. Whoops. Oh, there we go. I love this brick wall effect. It's absolutely gorgeous. So staticky though when it comes out. Love it. So, I was thinking, should I add cardstock behind there? And I thought, well, I'd have to cut this down, readjust all these, just to get, so I thought, just take your blend, and I'm just going to rest it on the top at a slight angle, just so I can let me zoom back out. And it gives me that illusion then that there's a very thin border going all the way around my card without having to use up too much cardstock. I mean, if you want it thicker, you can hold it on there until it bleeds in a little bit more, or you can, if you've got a steadier hand than me, you can. I think that's cute. Like it. I like it a lot. So I'm going to glue these two together because they're going to stay flat until after I've stamped, and then I'll add dimensionals. But just, I mean, you could use this on Valentine's, I suppose, but I think that's what the stamp set was for. But I mean, just for you. I mean, that can go on any occasion. And that's lovely. So we'll set that aside. We'll stamp. In fact, let's do that now while I've got it out. Give that chance for the ink to dry around there. And it'll also give this chance to dry. Nice rich colour this. and it fits in there beautiful. Perfect. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. We're going to have that back in a minute when we're going to use that little flower for the inside. In fact, let me get my card base out. I haven't fetched a card base out. Gaynor's slacking. So 8 1/4, 5 7/8, score and fold in half. I sat and scored every one of these the other night before one of my premieres, and it took me like, there's 400 in the drawer by the way, and it took me like all of 9.5 minutes, something like that. And then this afterwards will be laid on there. So now you can see that beautiful blackberry bliss going all the way around. I mean, you can choose to put your flowers, and maybe you could, I don't know, you could have maybe, because I'm going to glue it on, I could have maybe stuck that up there and then moved the flowers somewhere else. I just, because I put them on first, like, there was the only place left for my sentiment. So right, now we're going to start with, where's the two small ones? They're the same height, aren't they? Yeah. So I'm going to start with the large, and we're just going to glue it along the edge like that. You don't glue those flaps down, otherwise it doesn't look like a chevron. I love the green poking through as well. I like the red on that one. I mean, you can come out, but then I'm going to end up with no space for my sentiment. Or you can do it down the centre and maybe turn your card on the side like that, but you don't end up with that one in that same corner, see? So way to go. And now I'm going to use one of the, you've got to use the ones that point that way once, and then go to this side, that side, that, and use alternate. So that will get glued onto there, and you want to make sure it's nice and straight. But how cute. You make sure that's lovely and straight. Use your bone fold if needs be. You can see that I haven't got that right in the corner, but it's too late. Oh no, it's not. Gaynor's managed it. Better. Lovely. Now we go back to this side. So I'm going to use the short one this time. Nice and straight. Just got to make the two ends come together here to give you that square. Now we go back to the little one, facing that way, and you can turn these around. Let's just check that this one fits. Once that one is on there. Perfect. Look, right along the edge. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I mean, and look how much impact you've got from, what, 5 strips of paper? 1 inch wide, 2.5 inches long. You're not going to use a lot of paper, and you're going to have great impact on your card. Loved by many. So you decide now. I mean, if you wanted to, you could glue that piece on and then just literally fold that over, but we've already got it to fit anyway, so that's going to go on there. Perfect. But there was loads of cards with this style, so I can't really say anyone's name because I looked at them all, but it can be found on Pinterest. Look at that, it fits perfect. So if you're in the UK and your card base is the same as mine, then you would do 3 at 2.5 by 1 and 2 at 2 3/4 by 1, and put one of the 2.5s with that pile to face that way and the other 2 to face that way, and look what, it's brilliant impact. I think that's absolutely stunning. And I mean, like I say, we could turn this around. I could probably pop that in there, tuck it in there, maybe not. Or we could even have it on this side, you know, and pop that in there. Oh, I just love it. But I'm going to stick to that variation because I think that is really cute. And that fits in there and comes to the edge of my card. I was thinking it was glue then, but it's polka dots. And you can still see the sentiment. So I'm going to fetch some dimensionals up. Perfect. You could add some ribbon, maybe tie a bow. Oh, that would have been nice. And then I just want to make sure that it's not going over too far. That is so sweet. And now our flowers. How cute are these? They've already got a little black centre, but I'm going to make sure I've popped one in. They are just the sweetest things. Make sure they're in the centre again. Oh, that one don't want to come off now, does it? Look at that. Oh, I've ripped it. Look at that. Wait there. Let me rectify that. All because I wanted to move it over at like a 1 mil. What am I like? But anything and everything can be repaired. That's what I'm trying to get at. So let's attach the card now. Would you think of anything else to go on there? I think that is adorable. Love it, actually. So you could put this up. You could pop this on dimensionals. Or you can just add it with glue, tape. Perfect. Nice line up now. Make sure you've got good even space either side. Perfect. Oh, I've got a little, what's that? Oh, it must have come off my black. Oh, we will add a gem over that, don't you worry. I could even add our flower. You can add these flowers anywhere now. Oh, that's nice orientation, isn't it? Oh, I like that. Don't have to have, yeah, let's do it like this. Hide me boo-boo. Perhaps you could even do a couple more and have 5, so it was a bit more evenly spaced. That is gorgeous. I'm loving that. So pop the lid on there. How quick was that to make as well? Absolutely delightful. A few more gems and we're going to stamp our little image on the inside. So I'm going to pop one just here, here, and say over here. No, don't like that one there. Ooh, maybe down here. Now let's get our gorgeous little stamp. Open up the card. Ooh, a little stiff. Now I've lined that up on that. I've got a line drawn on mine, so covered in ink. So what I did, I just literally stuck it right along the bottom there, turned it around. Just look at that ink pad. It's wrecked. I don't know if you can see it in this light. It's one of the new ones. And just stamped on that side. Love it. So cute. How quick was that? Just stunning. Love it. Oh my goodness, I think they're beautiful. I like them both. Oh, I could go all the way through that poppy paper and just do those, because you've got some great variations on the back. So you've got this one as well, and a different blues on the back. That would look nice. Oh my goodness, that would look really nice actually. And what else have we got in here? I won't say if you could do it with that one. It's a bit too busy. Let me just pop that away. I won't pull it all out again. What else have we got? We've got, oh, that would work with the paper I used for there. You could use that on the other side. That would work nice. We've just seen the blue. And then you've got this one as well. But I don't know if that would go. Unless you use just this top half. Because you've got the nice green on the back as well. But definitely that one. These two especially. Anything with a pattern on one side and maybe something plain on the other side even as well. But I love it, I love it, I love it. We used the Meant to Be, the Blackberry Bliss, and I used Poppy Parade on this one. And those beautiful, just 2 stamps. And what an impact. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I'd love a thumbs up and a share, that would be amazing. If you're new to my channel but enjoyed what you saw, please don't forget to press subscribe. And if you liked, like I say, if you liked what you saw, I post every day, so don't forget the bell. Come back tomorrow and see what we make tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Love y'all. Bye.